I think we are live. What's up? Welcome everybody back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host Rattlesnake, coming at you live once again from Austin, Texas. Here with my co-host Dakota Drake. Unfortunately, once again.
Oh my lord!
And we have another guest on this episode, Moonhead. Say what's up.
What's up?
Hey,
There
Moonhead
you
in the
go.
flesh, baby. Moonhead.
All right,
time.
let's get right into it.
Hello, come right in.
Rock flag and eagle. All right, here we are. We are live. I think everything's working. Sorry, Moonhead. This is what we do every time because multiple times we've messed up. So
we just like shoot our shot and cross our fingers and hope it works.
Works. We're all really bad at the internet here.
That's how I go about it. So
yeah, well, I mean, I have you on because I know Twitch streaming is like the new thing. I'm over here on like Twitter and YouTube, so I'm ancient. I'm old news. So I have no idea what Twitch is. I don't know how it works. I was kind of hoping you could help explain it to me because I feel like you're the only Twitch streamer I think I know that's like big that does like racing content. How'd you get into that?
I don't know. I started streaming Fortnite a long time ago. I was really into Fortnite, and I streamed that to like nobody for a long time, and I just kind of bounced around between YouTube and Twitch and just wherever my buddies would watch me. And then I started doing the iRacing stuff over on YouTube. Streamed there, and then also kind of built a following on Twitter. And once I hit a certain point on YouTube, I saw how Twitch was doing. It started to boom. There were a lot of people doing good things over on Twitch, especially in the iRacing space around the Pro Invitational last year. That really helped motorsports, the e-motorsports thing and all that over on Twitch. So I jumped ship for Twitch last summer, and then took a little break actually from streaming. Didn't stream for a few months last year, and then came back in October, and it's just kind of been going up ever since. So I don't really know. I tell everybody I got lucky. So I don't know what I did. I just kind of jumped ship at the right time. And
I know what you did. I know what you did. I know what you did as a marketing expert like myself.
You sold your soul to the devil.
No, we haven't did that
yet.
But...
They haven't made a good enough offer.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. I sold mine like for pennies. I probably should have held out. I'm not a good negotiator. No, what you did was you promoted your pet pig.
Yeah, now he's helped. That's what I tell people, man. Like, he's paid for himself. Like, Spanky, I got Spanky because I wanted a pig. I never expected, like, the public to love my pig. But, like, whether it's people I know, like, just from high school or people who follow me online, like everybody knows who Spanky is, and anytime somebody introduces me to somebody, they're like, this is the dude with the pig. And it's like, man, like more people know about my pig than me. So I don't know, he's worked, I guess, to my advantage. But you know, I put food on his plate, so it's kind of a
and he puts bacon on yours.
No, we're not doing that. Everybody thinks I'm gonna eat Spanky. I made the mistake one time. We were smoking a pork belly, and I had put on my I don't really use Snapchat anymore, but at the time I posted on my Snapchat story a picture of me and Spanky. We were out for like a walk in the yard, and then the next snap I put a few hours later was that pork belly on our smoker. And I had people hitting me up, and I'd like,
oh, no.
It was not a sick joke on my part. Like, I did not think about what I had posted that morning as opposed to that afternoon. And people were hitting me up like, dude, did you kill Spanky? I was like, no, why do you think Spanky's dead? And then I looked, and I was like, oh my God, I look like the biggest jerk in the world. And I was like, guys, I promise, Spanky's good.
All right, we got our first comment.
Hey, shout out Jacob.
Moonhead,
Cheers,
you don't have to join us, but every time I post a comment on here, we like to take a drink.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've only got water, so it's not as cool.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Okay. I mean, light beer is pretty much that anyway.
Hey, I'm drinking Bud Diesels.
Okay, I'm drinking the Coors Original. I'm fancy today.
You're a big Coors guy.
Yeah, Coors. It's the best. I don't know why you wouldn't drink it. Yeah, it was Spanky that got me into you. Honestly, I was like, this is hilarious. I love this content. And then I was like, oh, he also like streams racing. That's cool. But more about the pig. That's all I seemed to care about. So yeah, in a marketing aspect, I think it was genius, even though you probably didn't think about it that way. It turned out that way.
Obviously, like now I know, like, you know, when I go live, like obviously I'm gonna put a picture of Spanky because everybody loves Spanky. You know what I mean? And like when you look like this, it's, you know, I'm not gonna be posting selfies that I'm going live. You know what I mean? I'd rather just people seem to like looking at my pig more than they like looking at me. So
I think it works for. I don't know. Do you actually like you dress in all camo day to day? Like this is just you authentically, or is it like you have now created this persona because you have a pet pig?
No, I was wearing camo before I got Spanky.
Okay, because it fits your persona perfect.
Yeah,
like,
I had long hair and all that before Spanky came along. I don't know. It's just I love camo. I love like I'm big into like fishing and stuff. But like I'm not.
Hell yeah.
I'm not really up early in the morning going deer hunting or anything.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm with you, dude.
I had a lot of camo and I started wearing a lot of camo and I just liked camouflage. And on iRacing, I made my cars camo at one point. I just loved the way it looked.
Hell yeah.
I met you at Bristol Fall Race last year, and I think you were wearing the same fucking getup.
Yeah, probably was. Like usually, like people laugh at me because like I go to a race and I love overalls too.
You rock the overalls, yeah.
Because
dude, I got a nice pair of Carhartt overalls. They're the
yeah. And I don't know, man. It's like they're just comfortable to me. It's not so much the look. Like I'm not trying to be a fashion icon over here. Obviously, it's just
become it.
I guess GQ hasn't called yet, but
they need to.
There. You're a Tennessee boy, aren't you? You live in Tennessee?
Almost. I'm Northwest Georgia. So.
Oh shit! Where were you?
Yeah.
What, Blue Ridge?
Rome.
Oh, dude, I didn't even know you lived in Georgia. I just thought you're like always up at the like Virginia North or Tennessee races. I live like just below McDonough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not even that far from each other.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if I would have known, I wouldn't have had you on the podcast. I only need one Georgia person at a time. It's too much to handle.
Yeah, dude. I work up around Rome all the time.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit. We'll get it going.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I bounce around. Like, I like traveling, so I'll bounce around. I'm trying to hit as many races as I can this year. So
hell yeah.
Well, the Appalachian Mountains are a cool place in general, so you can just go all over that area.
Well, yeah, I loved the drive up to Bristol, the drive up to Martinsville.
Oh, yeah. It's a 2-for-1er.
I think I'm going to go to Darlington in a few weeks.
Have you been to Darlington before?
Never when they were racing. I went, when I was real little, we went to Myrtle Beach, and there was like a car show there, and we hit it up on the way home.
It's literally like you get off the exit and like go ahead and stop time, and then you pull into the track, and it's like, holy shit, it's the 80s.
Really?
Yeah. Then like you're like, oh, dude, this is like epic NASCAR. And then like when you go back, you're like, oh, fuck, iPhones.
Yeah. That's the best way to explain it. Yeah, it's like going back in time. It's like when you go into Darlington, I mean, you said you've been in the town, so you know how it is. Yeah. It's like a little tiny town with a NASCAR racetrack in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense, but it's so perfect. I love Darlington. It's
that's why I like
one of my favorites.
I got family that lives up in Martinsville, and that place is just
hell yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly like you're back in the old days, but it's just kind of it's a very small town. There's not a lot of I don't know. It's not quite a ghost town, but it's pretty close, you know. But it comes alive for the NASCAR weekends, so it's a lot of fun to go up there for those.
Well, I think you'll love Darlington then. I think you'll fit in perfect. That's going to be your spot. I go all the time. My parents live in Myrtle, so it's just a quick drive over from Myrtle. So I always, will tell my parents, "Hey, I'm coming to visit." And then I crash for like one night, and then I'm like, all right, peace. And I just drive out to Darlington. So I wanted to get into it, especially since I have two people on here from Georgia. Moonhead, you have become an icon, not only for your pig Spanky, but for Waffle House. I know Waffle House because of you. Like I've always known about Waffle House, but now I really know about Waffle House.
I think you're about to start a damn argument with your tweets earlier.
So earlier today, I was at the Atlanta race. I was down in Georgia, and Dakota was trying to take me to Waffle House because for some fucking reason in Georgia, there's a Waffle House a stone's throw from any direction you're standing.
Yeah,
you start throwing rocks, and you're gonna hit a Waffle House. I've never seen anything like this before. For anybody not from Georgia, like we have them here in Texas every once in a while, but it is nothing like that. And so Dakota's like, yeah, we got to go to Waffle House before the race. And there's like lines out the door at every single one. I'm like, how are there not enough Waffle Houses in this state? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, they started here, so they start. I mean, I'm sure he knows. Like there are literally places on the interstate where on each side of the exit there's a Waffle House.
One on each side. There's like one every 3 miles.
Yeah, and then there's one over in I don't know exactly what town it is, but it's close to Buford, and there's 2 sitting right next to each other, like literally right next. I don't know, but there's 2 right
blows
next
my
to each
mind.
other.
And yet there's a line.
I don't know how familiar you are, but we went to the Locust Grove Waffle House. Down below me. We went to Locust Grove Waffle House, and we had to sit at the bar. It was packed. But it's packed every weekend. Me and my old lady went there yesterday. We went to the same one yesterday. And don't listen to Jacob. He's high. But but we went to Locust Grove Waffle House, and Matt was like, this is okay. Whatever. I'll order whatever.
Yeah. So, we go in, and I tried to go today to take my wife. There's one like 10 minutes down the road from me, and she wants breakfast food. And I'm like, all right, well, there's a Waffle House down the road. Let's go. Because there's not many Waffle Houses around here. And I was hyping it up because I was like, I was just in Georgia. This is what everybody eats in Georgia. And I'm like, there's not going to be a line here because it's Waffle House. Nobody really cares about it down here. An hour wait. An hour fucking wait for a Waffle House. And there was like seats open at the countertop. And Dakota, that's what we did. We were like, well, can we just sit in one of these there? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Hop in there. So I was like, well, what about all these empty seats? And they're like, no, you can't sit there. And I kind of lost it. I got a little upset at the lady. I was like, well, this is bullshit. Yeah. And I walked to the Denny's next door, and they were wonderful to me, super nice, gave me a seat right away. Food was excellent. And so I was talking to Dakota about it. I was like, I think I'm team Denny's now. So I need to be convinced otherwise.
I've never had Denny's. And I mean, I don't know, man. I've had bad Waffle House experiences. I think everybody has. It kind of depends on where you go. I'm lucky. The one I frequent has a great staff.
They probably know you by now by name, right? I mean, they got
they know my order
at some point.
They know my order. They see my truck and it's already on the grill. Like, do
you have a Waffle House sticker on your truck? Because
I just like my truck is recognizable, so like they know when it's me pulling in.
Dude, my old lady, when she was pregnant, like she went to Waffle House like 2, 3, 4 times a week, and like literally, I'll go in there with her like once a week or every other week, and we'll go in there, and they'll be like, "Hey, Felicia, usual," and I'm like, "How do they know you? What the hell's going on?"
See, so Nathan brings up this All-Star thing.
All-Star special, baby.
That's what I ordered when I went there. But I gotta say, Denny's, they have a Grand Slam, and it's like the same fucking thing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm sure it is. I've never been to Denny's. The Waffle House thing started for me because it was so close to my house, and then it just kind of.
It's great, like hangover food. It's great.
Yeah, it's just kind of an experience. I don't know. Dude, it's a lifestyle.
I'm not gonna lie. Me and Felicia.
It's a lifestyle.
I almost fought a lady and her whole family yesterday. We walked in there and the place is packed. Same one you went to, Rattlesnake.
God damn it.
We went in there and this lady, look, if you're going to Waffle House, either bring like you and 3 other guests or don't come at all. If you got like 5 or more people, don't come. It's like 4 and only. And this lady came in and they had like 10 of them. And we've been waiting. We've been sitting down waiting. And this lady of 10 comes in. They go ahead and they're splitting like 2 booths and they're wanting a whole nother booth. And this lady cleaned off the table and she was like, "Hey, you 3, come on, sit down." And we went to sit down and this lady was like, hey. No, we're going to get that booth too. And I was like, "Excuse me?" She was like, "Me and my whole family, we're going to use these 3 booths." And I was like, "I don't know what y'all are doing, but we're going to sit here and you and your family can go sit wherever the hell you want." And dude, I was not in the mood. I was like, "We've been waiting just like you have, lady. I'm sorry you have 3 booths." I was like,
"Well,
we're sitting here."
I decided to tweet this out. Granted, it only has 14 votes because I tweeted it out like not even an hour ago. Asking Waffle House, Denny's, or IHOP. Because those are the 3 that I feel like are national, right?
IHOP doesn't compete. I'm not gonna lie.
It doesn't compete, but IHOP's good. I like it. There are days I crave IHOP.
They have good pancakes. Yeah, if you just want pancakes,
I'll take Cracker Barrel over IHOP.
I would agree with that, though. I love Cracker Barrel.
I forgot about Cracker Barrel.
I can do Cracker Barrel.
It's not in the same category as Waffle House, but whatever category Cracker Barrel is, it's up there at the top.
It's its own category.
It's bougie. It's like bougie breakfast food.
Well, for your grandparents.
Yeah.
I think I've never gone without my grandparents.
Oh, really? I went just the other day. I love
Yeah,
Cracker
I
Barrel.
will
Man.
fuck some Cracker Barrel up.
So I asked Waffle House, Denny's, IHOP, and there's only 14 votes so far, but 15% said IHOP, 21% said Denny's, and 64% said Waffle House. So I think I'm outnumbered here.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the minority. Yeah, I think I'm in the minority on that one. Either
That's a
way,
winner.
you know what? This is what will make me support Waffle House again, is if they give Moonhead a sponsorship.
Ooh.
I don't see it happening, man.
Well, then I don't see me me going back there. I'm going to Denny's. Yeah, if Moonhead gets a sponsorship from IHOP, I'll start supporting it again. That's how you get sponsorship started, though. You tell them stuff like that. You're like, I'll only support you if you support this guy.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't want to get in any business negotiations with them because I like hash browns too much. You know, once you start getting serious stuff involved, that's when it gets ruined for you.
This is another good one. I didn't think about Huddle House. Forgot about that one.
I've never been.
Good. Yeah. I think they're from up around Dallas. They're pretty good.
Me and my dad used to tear up Huddle House.
And then Cracker Barrel, yeah. I mean, I agree. Cracker Barrel, I think, beats out all of them. But are we really gonna put Cracker Barrel in the same category? I'm kind of with Moonhead. It's different.
Yeah. They got more resources. They got a damn gift shop.
I prefer
it's half a gift shop.
I prefer Waffle House for breakfast, and I could do Huddle House for dinner.
I've never had Huddle House.
Cracker Barrel, I'm thinking for dinner also, like a big chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes.
Cracker Barrel lunch and dinner,
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that we covered that. That was the most important. Moonhead, thanks for coming on.
We're gonna no problem. Business is settled.
Yeah. Now that we've discussed your pig and Waffle House, so I guess you've kind of blown up. It seems like on Twitch now in terms of streaming racing content. Are you only doing iRacing? Do you do NASCAR Heat? What are you doing?
Only iRacing at the moment, but I want to try the new. Whenever it comes out, I want to try the new NASCAR Heat or whatever they're going to call it.
Whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, I want to try it. I'd like to start playing some of the other games, doing some things. I don't want to be like a one-trick pony. You know, right now all I do is yell at iRacing cars. And I'd like
the Miatas.
The Miatas and all that, and that's fun. I mean, people love it, but I'd like to offer a wider variety of content. That's for sure.
I gotta say, the Miatas are funny.
They're great.
I've seen some of your content, and I'm like, yeah, that's good. And then when you do the Miata thing, I'm like, that's funny. I like that.
Yeah,
I appreciate.
They're the best car on the game. They race great anywhere.
Oh, really?
Anywhere. Yeah, they'll race. We've raced them at Talladega. We've raced them at Martinsville. We raced them for 24 hours at Martinsville. We did a 24-hour endurance race at Martinsville in them.
God, and really?
Yeah, I streamed the whole thing. Did it for charity.
How did that work? Explain this. You did a full 24-hour straight stream.
Yeah, I said if you can do these channel points things and people can redeem them. They just earn them by watching, subbing, whatever. I said if we can raise this many channel points, I'll do a 24-hour stream. And they did it instantly. I was like, damn, okay. Well,
damn it.
Now I gotta do it. So I was like, I need to do it for charity to keep myself, to hold myself accountable and make sure that I actually do it and do it right. And I was like, what can we do? And then it hit me. Let's do a 24-hour Miata race around Martinsville. Do not know why that was the idea that came to my mind. And it was in November, so I picked Toys for Tots because I have a year before COVID, I volunteered for them in their little warehouse thing here locally.
Nice.
And I don't know. It did a lot of good for me to see that and made me feel good to help. So I was like, I'll raise money for there's this platform called Tiltify, and it's just like a stream overlay. People can donate straight to a charity through that. So there's no middleman. They take a percentage or whatever, but there's no I'm not having to deal with money and donating it. It's going straight to the thing. And these charities, they sign up on there. So I was looking, and Toys for Tots happened to be one of the ones on there. So I was like, all right, I'll pick them. So we ended up raising $3,000 for them.
Dang.
Big daddy moves, dude.
Yeah.
So we did that, and 24
Was it a whole group of
hours.
you doing it? I'm guessing it's not just you, but are you the one streaming with other people?
I streamed, did the cameras. I was initially the only one there. But luckily, I have a lot of good friends, like Ryan Vargas. He came in. I didn't really invite anybody. I just said, certain people know, they can come in my Discord and get in there. And Vargas was one of them. A lot of I don't know if y'all know the Bottom Split guys. A lot of them did it. Just various other iRacing streamers. And then just my buddies. And we had a good time. So I I don't know how many hours of it I actually did solo, but it wasn't many. Thanks to them. But yeah, it was tough. There were a couple times I fell asleep once, but
Oh shit! Really?
yeah, I fell asleep.
Did you fall asleep while you're driving, or how does that
No,
work?
I broadcasted the whole thing. I didn't drive at all. I was just broadcasting.
Got it.
So yeah, so like whenever I
were you
tired,
like live? Were you live on the air, just like?
Yeah. So anytime I'd start getting tired, I'd change to a scene where it had my camera up there and you could see the race.
Yeah.
I was like, I won't fall asleep if I know everybody can see me. That didn't work after so long.
Have you ever heard of
Yeah,
sniffing
dude.
salts?
Hey, props, dude.
I've heard
props.
of them. Yeah.
You need to try the sniffing salts next time you do
Yeah.
24.
Oh, those will
Are
wake
those
your ass
legal?
up, dude.
Yeah,
Are they legal?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
like
it's like
bodybuilders
trucker
and
speed,
shit.
man.
Oh, okay.
Weightlifters sniff them and shit.
You ever buy that trucker speed at gas stations? You got to drive long distances.
I
Yeah,
do not.
It's
It's
legal, but
typically,
you shouldn't.
I'm not buying stuff to snort at truck stops.
Hey
That's
man,
for sure.
I got a live
Yeah.
stream tonight. Y'all got some good
It's
stuff?
legal. You just
Yeah.
shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, cigarettes are legal, but they're not necessarily good for you. Truckers.
Yeah,
speed,
I
same
see a lot
thing.
of people. I rarely drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I'll have a cigar here and there, but I don't know. I'm a pretty boring dude. I don't really do.
You're much healthier
Hey,
than me and
you got a
Dakota.
damn pig. You got a damn pig. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you got to take care. You got to take care of Spanky. Not the last episode, 2 episodes ago. Hey, Felicia.
Hey,
He's
it's
got
my
his wife
lady.
bringing him drinks. Yeah, so 2 episodes
I was just
ago we
saying,
had Rusty Walrus on,
Mhm.
and he
Love you.
and he mentioned
Get the
you. He
babies.
said that you were one of his favorite content creators when it comes to streaming. So I don't know how tight y'all are, but
Yeah.
I wanted to pass along those compliments he was
I
giving.
paid
me.
him to say that.
Well, that makes sense because
Yeah,
I was like,
not
you're being
finished.
way too kind. He must have written a check.
No, yeah, Rusty's been one of my biggest supporters. I love Rusty.
Yeah, who doesn't?
He's just a good dude.
He's the
love
nicest
him.
person ever. I think he's the
Yeah.
most positive person there is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so he was on talking about the next game, or really not talking about it at all, because every time we asked him a question, he's like, I can't talk about that. So yeah, it sounds like whenever that game does come out, I think we're gonna try streaming that a little bit. So maybe we'll see you trying that one out as well.
Yeah.
Are you a PlayStation guy, Xbox guy, or just strictly console guy? Or PC, yeah.
I have an Xbox, don't have a PlayStation.
Mm.
But really, I play everything on PC at this point. But I don't know. When it comes to that, I'll probably try to pick up one of the. Hopefully, by the time it's out, the next gen consoles
next
are
gen.
actually. You can actually find them, and I'll try to get one of those so I can
Right.
host. I know more people that play that have that, and I can host those multiplayer lobbies and stuff on there.
Right. Yeah. Did you like build your own PC? Because I know a lot of people that do that stuff, like build their own PCs.
I did a custom build through somebody, so I picked all the stuff, but I wasn't about to try to. I've built PCs before, but something like this, I didn't want to risk screwing something up. And it was through NZXT. It was like $100 more to have them build it, and then that everything's covered for so long. So I just paid the extra $100, and it was here the next week. So
Yeah,
worked out pretty good.
All that stuff just seems so complicated to me because I don't know anything about computers. That's why I need like a PlayStation. I just plug it in and put a game in, and I'm like, that's all. So when it comes to PC stuff and streaming stuff, it's just way over my head. I don't even dare to mess with it.
It's a lot easier now with all the pre-builts and all that. You pay out the ass, man, for the pre-builts. And I don't know, you can do the custom builds through people, but you still end up paying a good bit. But I don't know. I just once you get into it, it's not as difficult as you think. And I'm telling you, man, it's life-changing. Once you do it, you can't go back to console. And these consoles now, they're not even that bad.
That's what I've heard.
It's not like a dig on the consoles because especially these new ones, they're great, but it's just, I don't know, man, everything's so convenient on PC because you got everything, you know what I mean? You got everything. So
yeah,
it's just way more convenient.
Yeah, I'd like to get the new PlayStation, but I'm so cheap. I'm a guy that's gonna wait like 5 years afterwards before I can actually afford it. I just bought NASCAR Heat 5, and they're about to come out with a new one. That's the way I do it because I'm like, oh, it's $20 instead of 60. All right, now I'll buy it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to try iRacing. It just seems scary. I'm way too intimidated. Do you have like the whole setup?
Yeah, it's over
there.
there.
All that.
it's over there. I don't do it a whole lot anymore just because I'm really busy with my side of things, with the broadcast and stuff. But yeah, I got it over there. It's pretty basic setup. I race in a VR thing though, so I don't have like monitors over there. So.
Oh, you got like the whole goggles and everything?
Yeah, I got an Oculus Rift. So
damn, is that cool or is it like tricky?
Oh, it's awesome. The biggest thing to get used to is like I lived with my parents when I first started doing it.
Yeah.
So if one of them came in while I was racing, instinct is to turn your head, but the next thing I know, I'm going down the back stretch at New Hampshire with my head out the window trying to talk to somebody, and it screws you up. So you just have to remember, or somebody coming in and like if something touches you, oh dude, it's the scariest thing ever. So because it sounds really stupid, but like if you're running these long races and you're in VR, you start to almost think you're in a car, like, and you're not feeling it, but it's just like that's all you're seeing. You know what I mean? Like when I was on monitors, I could still look at my phone or like, see all this other stuff. Somebody walks in, I can look over and look at my monitor and be like, hey, what's up? When you're in that VR, that's all you're seeing. I'm just punching my mic. That's all you're seeing. So after a while, like if there's a loud noise or somebody coming in there, it's going to scare the hell out of you because you're just so into it.
Yeah, that freaks me out. I did one of those at like an arcade where they strap you into the walking thing.
Yeah.
At the goggles and you shoot zombies and stuff. And it was a lot of fun. But when they took it off, I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I could get used to that. So we have a question about is that like a Ryan Blaney behind you?
I see a Ford nose. I noticed.
Yeah,
is that Blaney?
Paul Menard.
Okay.
His Wood Brothers, and then that is Matt. I can't point. I couldn't be a weatherman. I'm not good at the weird thing.
Where'd you snag those at?
I bought that one at the Wood Brothers Museum, and then I got the Kenseth one on eBay. That's from the race that Larson about went into the grandstands in 2013.
Oh, yeah.
Kenseth was in that race. I don't think he was in that wreck, but it's got a little. I ain't gonna move my camera because the cord's too short, but it's kind of beat up on the bottom, so it looked pretty cool. So I got it. It's cool. It's actually got like the bumper bar in there still, so it's pretty heavy.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So have you always been a NASCAR fan?
Yeah, pretty much. My parents were. So, I mean, earliest I can remember was like age 3 or 4 watching NASCAR. So
you remember your first race?
Just some early I think so. I think it was like 2005. I think Atlanta.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
we probably ran each other and we didn't even know it.
Yeah, probably because I went to Atlanta every year from 04, 05 all the way through like 2014 or 2015.
My first Atlanta race was 01 when Kevin won.
Oh, really?
Against Gordon, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you grow up a fan of? Like, who were your parents a fan of? Because usually you're just a fan of whoever your parents are, at least for the first half of your life.
Yeah, my dad was a Stewart fan, and my mom was a Gordon fan. And my dad called me Bud, so I became a Dale Jr. fan because I was like, my dad calls me Bud, and his hood says Bud. I didn't know it was beer, so I was like, I like that. That's cool in the car.
Nice.
And then I was a Junior fan until he retired, and I don't know. Then I had followed Larson up through the dirt ranks and all that, so I was kind of a fan of him. But I don't know. I like supporting the small teams, and I had become a big fan of BJ McLeod just because he was a cool dude. I like this. He has those spiky boots and all that, and he just. I was say
that's like
cool guy.
That's like super extreme small team.
Yeah,
and like extra small.
So I didn't really have a cup driver, and then BJ and Matt Tiff started their team this year, and so I've just been supporting them. I'm kind of all in.
That was going to be my next question. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just always kind of looking for the underdog. Not just the underdog, but like the Mission Impossible, essentially.
Yeah, well, it's not only that. Like, if BJ drove for Hendrick, I'd like BJ. It's just like it wasn't necessarily a small team. I like supporting the small teams, but like with me, it was just more like I saw one of the NASCAR Heat games. I saw BJ in it, and I was like, "This guy's cool." And then I just started learning more about BJ.
Hairdo. He's got a badass hairdo, dude.
And he just. I don't know. He was just different. I like people that are different, and you don't like with the skulls and all that. Like, you just don't see a lot of those like people who are different in NASCAR.
I've been preaching this. Like we need some bad boys in the sport. We need some
Yeah.
tattoos, long hair, rock and roll. Fuck it. Like we don't need these pretty clean cut boys. We need some like rock and roll in NASCAR.
Also, I feel like I would like BJ McLeod more if he was sponsored by Bojangles. Just BJ's. Yeah, that the whole thing is just BJ everything. I think I would appreciate
that
it
would
more.
make sense.
Yeah. I became a fan of him, and then this year they started that team, so I've been supporting them, and I don't know, they're a lot of fun to follow too. Like a lot of these teams, they I don't know. It seems like their group kind of has fun with it, just with like the social media stuff and all that. And I like that.
You just got to go to Martinsville, didn't you? Didn't you like luck into a ticket or something? I seen following you.
So
how'd that work out?
God, that was a disaster. So I bought modified tickets, Xfinity tickets, and bought a cup ticket from a buddy of mine who just had an extra.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday I get to the track and I go to message him, and I was going to be like, hey man, tell me where our seats are so I can go see if they're going to be good or if we're going to need to, move off somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
And he had sent me a message. Apparently he had gotten the same email I got about my tickets I had originally, that he didn't get reseated and he had been refunded or whatever. And he didn't know that till he went to go find the tickets.
No,
so
bullshit.
24 hours before the race, I find out I don't have tickets.
And you're in Virginia. You're already up in Virginia.
Yeah, but I have family there, so he had a hotel and stuff. I have family there, so like I'd already got to see modifieds, was guaranteed Xfinity, so it wasn't going to be the end of the world. But I was like, oh my god, he sent me like more money than I paid for the ticket back, and it was an honest mistake on his part. And then luckily, a guy who followed me on Twitter, he heard I needed a ticket. He had an extra, so he sold me one at
That's what happens when you're famous, when you're a celebrity like Moonhead. That's what happens.
Dude, I have an Xfinity Dega ticket, and I can't even give the motherfucker away.
Yeah, he's been trying to give it away.
I've been trying to give this thing away, and nobody wants to fucking
Moonhead, if you want an Xfinity Dega ticket, you got it.
I'm so conflicted, man. I want to go to Dega. I want to go to Dega, but I also don't want to go to Dega.
It's a 2-hour drive, dude.
I know.
It ain't far.
And I don't know, man. Like, especially the Cup race, because for me, it's when you support a small team, it's like, okay, this is one of 4 races out of the year where it's like it's the great equalizer. Like, even if they don't have this, speed of the rest of the guys, they can at least, a top 10 is not unheard of. I mean,
I'm an Austin Dillon fan, so I'm right there with you. I love the super speedways because I'm like, he might win.
Live Fest was good in Daytona. They had like a fuel issue. And they've been fast a lot of places this year. So it's like, for me, it's like, man, okay, Dega, I could go see their best run so far. Yeah. But then another part of me is like, I could drive all the way down there when I could just stay home and watch it on TV. So I don't know.
That goes straight into the argument when there's no fans in the stands. We don't have sold out seats. And it's like, because people want to sit at home and watch the race, or they could be in the stand. Hey, man, if you want to, go with the Chairgatin boys, I'm going to be at Dega all weekend. If you want to ride, I got a truck.
We always have a good time. So
yeah, man.
I mean, what's the next race you think you're going to be going to then?
I think Darlington. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I don't plan. Yeah, I don't plan very well, but I think Darlington.
Yeah, me either.
Unless I end up at Dega this weekend.
I literally decide while we're recording what races I'm going to, because Dakota just peer pressures me into it.
Yeah.
Like with Nashville, I was like, I'm not going to Nashville, and then we were on the air, and he was like, dude, just go to Nashville, and I'm like, all right, fuck it. I guess I'm going to Nashville now. When is Darlington actually? That's
it's
in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks. I think they go Talladega somewhere.
It's May 9th.
So they go Talladega somewhere else and then Darlington.
They go Talladega, Kansas, then Darlington. It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Dakota, you gonna go up to Darlington?
No, I'm not making Darlington. I had to sacrifice Darlington for other races.
I might just fly up there. Just because I got a place to stay. That's the thing.
Son of a bitch.
It's just easy because I have a place to stay. I fly out to see my parents, drive up to the race, and then drive back and fly back out. It's like the easiest thing.
If you do it, I'll be tempted to be like, hey, babe, work came up. I got to go to, I'm going nothing. I'm going to Darlington.
Work came up. I'll be in North Georgia. Don't worry. Okay. Because eventually we'll have to meet up with you, Moonhead, at some race. Yeah. Sorry, you probably hear my dogs barking in the background. I apologize. I have just a bunch of Rottweilers behind me.
Oh, okay.
No, I actually have Chihuahuas.
Hey, I've heard that they can be more vicious than
check this out. Here's my theory. Not to get too off. Well, we don't have topics on this show. So anyway, my theory is like the Rottweilers, they might not attack, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know I can attack. I'd rather have the Chihuahua wake me up because just Chihuahua's barking anything.
I've got a little dog, and that I've had big dogs and I've had little dogs, and this little dog will
Same.
let me know anytime somebody even looks at my house.
I've had huge dogs that a stranger will come in that they don't know and they act tough, but they run away. And I'm like, well, thanks a lot, dude. But the little dogs, they're just gonna be yipping the whole time. They won't. They'll let you know. So, yeah, that's my theory. Okay. Anyway, back on track. I guess we'll talk about this race. We should probably discuss this race, right, Dakota?
You want to jump into Richmond, baby? I am still shocked by what we just saw.
Okay. Are you talking about the finish?
I'm talking about, like, there was comers and goers. There was a wild last-minute caution I don't want to really talk about. But there was a wild winner I didn't see coming out of nowhere. He was in the top 5 the whole time. And, I mean, Bowman lived up to this dumbass Bowman the Showman name they give him.
I will say it was so great to see another first-time winner for like this season.
Hey, 9 races, 8 winners, and the 48 is back in victory lane. What the hell?
This is another thing I wanted to mention. It's crazy. We're seeing the 48 back in victory lane. Yeah. Jimmy Johnson was over there in IndyCar. I don't even know how he did. I heard he spun out or something. I don't really keep up with IndyCar. Moonhead, what's your take on this?
IndyCar, I watched the first lap and then I think they wrecked or whatever, and that was the end of IndyCar. But for the NASCAR race, I mean, I don't know. It in my opinion, it was just Richmond. I know I see a lot of people griping about it, but I mean, the trucks put on a great show yesterday, and Cup had good racing at points of the race. I don't know that it's necessarily a Richmond problem. I just think the Cup series now, these guys are so good. We don't see, like we used to see back in the day. And I like stage racing, but I think stage racing plays a role in it. Like back in the day, guys didn't know when that next caution was coming. So, if their car wasn't good and they thought they had to get spots right then, they might be more inclined to just run somebody over and take the spot no matter what point the race was at. Now it's like, okay, I can just ride behind this guy. I'm going to get a caution. I can get my car right. So I think that contributes to some of the snoozers that we see at Richmond. But I mean, also, it has changed a lot through the years. So I don't know. I thought the race was good. I was entertained. I spent most of it listening to BJ's scanner and watching the leaderboard, seeing how he was doing. Yeah. So that has helped me a lot. Even races that aren't crazy exciting, I'm more invested with, watching this battle in the second half of the field. So I enjoyed it. I did not expect Bowman to win, but that was a pleasant surprise. That was cool to see.
Yeah, and that's another thing is I feel like this season that's happened, even on races that seem to get boring, and you're like, all right, this race is kind of starting to get a little boring. Mm-hmm. Even those races this season have seemed to finish really exciting with a different winner. And I've been saying it every single damn week. The whole dumb marketing of like, this might just be the best season yet. And since they said that, I was like, that's the dumbest slogan ever. Shut up. This is not going to be the best season. But like each race, I'm like, damn, this was a good race. Like I enjoyed this race, which is not something I've had in the past couple seasons. Yeah. So this has been a good season so far.
To me, this was like a very refreshing Richmond race. Like compared to the last couple seasons, I know Trick's got a couple in there and Brad K won one last in playoffs. Mm-hmm. But like Richmond lately has been kind of like, Richmond used to be short track banger. Like you'd see all kinds of crazy shit, bumping and running. But like it's been lackluster. But this one, we saw battles throughout the race. Since it's driver check manage charge, I kind of agree with that. And I feel like they kind of a couple years ago they switched off to a day race and a night race. I feel like Richmond should always be a night race. Both races, if it gets 2 dates, let's put it on night. Short track.
To be fair, Dakota, I agree with you. But I feel like you have said that about like every single fucking race this season, where you just go, it should be a night race.
It should be a night race.
It should be a night race.
It's got
Richmond, Martinsville, Bristol.
You invest in lights. There's light poles around the track. And you don't even fucking use them.
That's your go-to.
I love the way a night race looks. I love watching a race at night. But if there's one track, if there's one short track, especially that should be a day race, I think it would be Richmond, just because of the tire situation there. With I don't know. I feel like the only good Richmond races I can remember in the last 5-6 years were the ones that were run in the daytime. So,
well, you know, one thing I've noticed in like the last couple stretches of races we've had, and
sums up exactly what you just said.
You know, all week they replay the Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch bump and run. And I'm like, dude, that was like 6 years ago.
yeah,
it's like in the Martinsville, they're replaying Maxton's dumping Joey. And I'm like, dude, we're replaying like races that were like 5-6 years ago, and y'all are just harping on like, hey, one time there was a good race here once. And it's like, to me, I'm like, dude, like, let's just advertise the damn racetrack. It kills me.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also this is a good point. I feel like there were a lot of good battles that weren't shown on TV, but I think that just goes back to what we complain about every single damn week is Fox not showing us everything, because I agree. I mean, I feel like you see a lot of this movement on the leaderboards, and if you're listening to the radios, you're like, okay, there's some shit going on that they're just like not showing us for whatever reason. Yeah. So I mean, I think if we need incentive to show up to races, Fox Sports is it, because like you're not going to be able to see all the good shit because of Fox Sports.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get it. I get why they show what they show, and I'd imagine right now with even still having to do the COVID protocols, I'm sure they don't have the team that they usually do to spot stuff. Because I remember NBC had a rough time last year. They were missing a lot of stuff as well.
Because they have like one camera guy. He's like, fuck.
Yeah. And also, I think, NBC also has it a little easier, in my opinion, because they get to watch half the season, see what the fans bitch about, see what Fox did wrong, and then they can fix it.
100%.
So Fox can roll out a helmet cam. NBC can come out with a helmet cam. Fox comes out with the drone cam and does this with it. NBC, they're probably working on a drone and having something to, you know what I mean? So,
but even better. Yeah.
Yeah. And battles throughout the field. I am sure NBC is taking notes what all these people are bitching about. So
I agree. I agree with that.
Spot. I'm sure right now, like I said, with the COVID stuff, that doesn't help. And they're thrown into every season, with no expectations whatsoever. Just do this, and then NBC can build off of that. So I don't know. I try not to give them a tough time. I will say the truck broadcasts, those have been horrendous for years.
Yeah.
Dude, they've been getting worse and worse. Like,
yeah.
I like Michael Waltrip, but I'm like, dude, me too. Y'all are fucking up.
It's not I'm not a big Vince Welch fan. I mean, I'm sure he's a good guy. I just don't think he's the best commentator. I think he's a great pit reporter. He's one of the best pit reporters, just not great in the booth. But with me, like, my problem with the truck race broadcast is strictly like the production side. Just they miss a ton of stuff, and getting like teams wrong and all that stuff.
It's like they're training their new guys. Hey, we're gonna practice on the truck race. And
I get it.
Filming.
It's the trucks, so I get it. But still, come on, it's still one of the top 3 series in NASCAR, and obviously people. I see more hype lately for trucks and Xfinity than I do Cup. I know there's more people watching Cup, but people are really fired up about trucks and Xfinity too. They deserve a good broadcast, and so I don't know. I think they'll get it together, or CBS will come in and take their spot.
Oh shit! I think CBS is almost like a wild card here. They're gonna come in and do the SRX, and we got that wild. They just announced that broadcast team is like, dude, heavy hitting. Yeah, and Fox is probably like, oh fuck. Oh shit!
Well, we don't even have to lose Fox completely. We could go back to like they did with TNT. Remember the June and July or whatever
summer series thing?
Yeah,
I didn't mind it. Kyle Petty was a little bit much, but I didn't mind the TNT spots.
I loved Wally. I miss Wally in the booth.
I like Wally.
Yeah. Well, I've been harping on this for a long time that there needs to be a streaming service option without commercial breaks, just 100% racing. You don't have to take it off the cable television; they can still have it. But if you want to pay an annual subscription, you get every single race, every single series, no breaks, and even if they want to do some kind of advertising just to help pay for it, at least side by side, at least. And you don't even need to take away the audio for the race. You just have a side by side with an animated commercial or something.
I'd be even cool with that. It's maybe pick your camera. You can watch any camera on the track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that's what, if we ever get that, that's what it'll be. I think that it'll be raw camera feeds. I'm sure they'll have. Remember Race Buddy? They used to have the one feed that followed the battles, and then they'd have various cams that just in parts of the cars they need to have the onboards. I could totally see them offering something more advanced that would have, radio bar audio. They probably couldn't do TV, but I'm sure they could do radio, scanner audio, and then have all the cameras that you could pick from.
Well, there's a bunch of services out there that just strictly do streaming for sports.
Yeah.
So all they'd have to do is partner with one of those. They'll bring their own equipment. They'll set up the cameras around the track, and like that's what they do for a living. So just NASCAR just needs to like sell the rights to a streaming option that you just pay annually for. That's what I would do. I think that's what most hardcore NASCAR fans would do. I'm sure Fox would hate it because they would lose a lot of viewership, but like people are already trying to tune out of Fox if they can anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. They get a lot of hate, but I mean, every time I feel like every time NBC comes in, everybody starts hating on them. I think it's just kind of the typical
right.
NASCAR
No,
thing.
it's 100% because I'll start immediately when NBC comes in, I'll start bitching about them. Watch my Twitter. I'll be like, fuck this, I miss Fox.
NBC to me knocks it out of the park, but Fox tees them up. But also you have I love the NBC base, but you have Junior in there, and you got Junior fans just harping on Junior. But like to me, like NBC just freaking it takes it off and runs. Like their broadcast is so much better.
I gotta say though, Clint in the booth is spectacular.
Yes, no, Fox has been very like, oh god, this is
with Clint. Yeah, with Clint in there, I'm like now I'm enjoying the commentary.
Yeah,
because he just does funny shit.
This has been their best season in the last couple of years for sure.
See, that's what I knew would happen too. Everybody wanted DW gone, but I knew as soon as he was gone, everybody was going to miss that excitement. Because even when he wasn't in his prime his last couple of years, but he at least made things interesting when he would, hoot and holler or whatever he was doing up there.
I agree. Everybody hated on DW. I'm one of the few people. Look, you can see right here. That's a guitar signed by Darrell Waltrip. I'm like one of the few people that liked DW in the booth. I stand by that. Everybody hates him. Dakota was like, I can't stand him. I thought he brought a lot of energy, and nothing against Jeff Gordon. He seems like a great guy. He knows a lot about racing, but he is a wet blanket in the booth. He doesn't have much of a sense of humor. He's just kind of like a robot because he probably is a robot. I mean, the only time driving, let's be fair.
The only time I had a problem with Jeff in the booth was when it was just him and Mike. That was when
that's when you see how boring he can be.
Jeff, you need that guy who knows what he's talking about. And Jeff is that guy.
Yes.
And Boyer's brought more personality out of him, but strictly just like when Jeff talks, everybody's going to listen because he's one of the greats. Like he knows what he's talking about, and he's only been out of the car for a few years, so he knows. Boyer, people shit on him, but he was not that. He was a good driver. He ran towards the front of the pack his whole career.
And he drove for a long time.
And he drove for a long time, and he's only 1 year out of the car, so he knows what he's talking about. And then you got Mike Joy, who I think is one of the best lead motorsports announcers there is.
Right.
So
he knows how to control the conversation. He knows how to direct everything.
So it's a great booth. It's just they've got some tweaks they need to make with the production side, and I think they'll be right there with NBC.
See, Nathan, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I disagree with you. I think
DW was terrible, dude.
I know he wasn't. All y'all just say that because that's like saying Nickelback's the worst band of all time. You just say it because it's popular to say.
DW would there was times he would spit off where I was like, dude, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah,
like he would just ramble.
Energy.
Vortex theory. Yeah, like
the vortex theory is fucking hilarious. No, and if you don't think that's funny, then get out.
But that was my thing was DW, like he hasn't drove these cars in 20 years, and he's like, yeah, slide that thing, boy. It's like, dude, you've never drove these cars. You have no idea what's going on.
I fucking miss that. I don't care if I'm the only one that misses that. I miss hearing his crazy rants.
Jeff's a couple years out, but Clint at least has some experience in this package. I agree. What's going on.
I agree. I like Clint. I'm glad they got Clint because they needed a high energy, funny personality guy like DW was. And so that's what I'm saying. Clint being there helped so much because Jeff would have been terrible without him. And that's my point. I don't hate Jeff Gordon. He knows a shit ton about racing because he was like a child prodigy for it. But in terms of personality, it's just not there.
Are we going to get in this Richmond race? I mean, let's talk some heavy hitters here in this top 10. Austin Dillon with the fucking top 10. Boy.
Why do you think I'm wearing the hat, dude? Why do you think I'm wearing the hat?
Where did DJ McLeod finish? Moonhead?
He finished 32nd, I believe. They got a penalty late.
32nd.
They had speed, man. That first, I believe it was the first. Whenever Newman got dumped by Cindric, they had just went down pit road, so that got them stuck a lap down, and then when it goes green,
Ain't
the
that how
small
it goes?
teams, they just start losing laps, and then the penalty there at the end. He was racing with like Bubba and the 17, the 43, the 34, some pretty solid cars there from 25th to 30th for a good portion of the race, but that penalty just killed
That's
their
one thing
run.
that kills me is like even with whatever broadcast is like I know we can't keep up with everybody in the damn race, but like if you're not in the top 20, they don't talk about you, and I get it. But it's like
that's what sucks.
Let's film and talk about it. Like what's going on in 21st?
Because there's a lot of good battles back there that we're missing.
That's the thing.
When you're not going to win.
When you're at a race, you're like, oh shit, 22nd, they're bumping doors, hitting the wall and shit. But TV, you never see that. You never see that.
Well, I heard at one point on the scanner, BJ was like 3 wide for like 2 laps. It seemed like just constantly, you're top 3 wide, and they never showed it. Like I still don't know who he was 3 wide with.
Right.
It was right there off one of those restarts.
I thought Almirola was 6th.
No, that was Almirola's best race of the year by far. Like
he finished 6th.
At that point, they were like, Almirola, wave the checkered, finish the damn race. Like, dude, that was the best run he's had all season for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's a talented driver.
He finished P6.
If we can, it was 6, not top 5. Shut up, Nathan.
But he was up to 5th at one point. Truex came back.
Yeah,
for 5th.
No. He had a great run.
Hey, Willie B with another top 10. Matt DiBenedetto with a 9th. Austin Dillon with 10th. I mean, there's some good names up there in the top 10.
Yeah. Yeah, if we could sum up one driver's career as just bad luck, I feel like Eric Almirola is that driver, but he does put himself in those situations a lot of times.
True. I feel like Matty D gets a rough break. I mean, he had a solid finish today with 9th, but like last week, Martinsville, he's top 10, gets the whole right side taken off. Like he's striving and breaking, but I honestly think that we're getting to the end of the road here, Matty D.
So my one question, when I missed stage 1 of this race, I was keeping up with it online and stuff. Like I said, I had to wait a fucking hour at a stupid Waffle House that I'm never going back to. But
you eating breakfast at 3:00.
Did some? Well, I mean, come on, it's Sunday. What did something happen to Kyle Larson for him to be running so poorly all day? Like, did something happen early that I missed? Because I didn't hear them talk about it.
I don't think so.
I didn't see anything. I think he just straight up ran 18th.
Yeah.
That's just wild to me. That's just wild.
2 laps down.
I thought he was going to be a contender, and I turn it on, and it's the start of stage 2, and he's in the back, and he just stays in the back. And I'm like, well, did he get in a wreck early or something? Because that was wild to me. He seems like, a top 5 driver this season in terms of equipment and talent.
Well, one thing that was wild I didn't see people bitching about was there was like at one
he was
point
cut off. I don't know.
One point there was 9 cars in the lead lap, and I was like, "Wow, I'm surprised people aren't bitching about this." Like Hamlin was mowing people down and lapping them, and I was like, "Damn, dude."
That was kind of upsetting me. I was like, "Damn it." There goes, okay, Reddick's out, like Austin's about to get lapped. I mean, it was frustrating me a little bit.
With the Kevin Harvick flat tire. A lot of people took the wave around there and put a lot more cars on the lead lap, but it was rough there for a minute.
So, Moonhead, looking ahead, who do you think is, let's say, like the top 4 drivers this season?
Hamlin's got to be even though he hasn't won. I mean, he
in terms
take
of
a race off and still keep the points lead. I think they said.
Totally agree.
Hamlin, he's still the guy there. I mean, I think Truex, they've got some stuff they need to work on, but 2 wins this early in the season, it's hard to, it's hard to doubt
he's
them.
Been up there for every race. Yep.
Logano definitely would be the 3rd guy. The 4th guy, though, I feel like that's up in the air. You could say Larson, but days like today show, they've got stuff they got to work on. Bowman's been consistent. Bowman was quietly consistent all last year. He's been
Blaney's been running
this
well.
year. He's won. Blaney's ran well.
I'd throw Willie B in that mix.
Willie B would definitely make the mix. Blaney'd make the mix.
It's that 4th spot. I think that's tough.
Yeah.
Harvick hasn't had the greatest season, but I mean, he's run well. He just hasn't had great finishes. It seems like.
He's been he's literally been like keeping his mouth out of the water.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, running P5, P6 today with 20 to go blows the right rear. I mean, you can't. I don't know what the hell happened, but he was in the top 5 3/4 of the race, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. So, and then Chase, obviously Chase, he's run pretty well. So I don't know. I think that last spot of the 4 could go to about 6 guys right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just they all kind of have little bits and pieces of things they need to work on. But definitely Hamlin, Logano, and Truex would be my big 3.
I mean, I think you summed it up just because I'm looking at the point standing, and number 1 is Hamlin, number 2 is Truex, and number 3 is Logano. So
I didn't even know that, but
yeah.
Hey, Hamlin is 8 top 5s in a row.
Yeah.
That's
and
nuts,
then
dude.
so this hasn't been updated yet for the race, obviously, this most recent race. But then number 4 is Larson. Which I think makes sense, but as you put it, this race makes me be like, that's why I was wondering, did something happen? Because I feel like he's a top 4, top 5 driver right now. So to see him just struggle without me knowing the full story kind of confuses me.
Well, that's another thing. We come back for Richmond in the playoffs first round, so that's another thing. It's like, hey, who had your notes?
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like the one guy that we're all kind of waiting around, well, one of the guys we're waiting around to see when they get the win is Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Cody's coming up.
Yeah. He was not doing great last year. I mean, until we came back from the COVID break, and then he started doing better. But I don't see him really. I don't know. I don't see him topping last year with the way he's running. But I'm also not concerned. Like, I think he'll turn it on and do good things.
Yeah, and I also think seeing Larson doing so well on that team now Chase is still doing good. I'm not trying to say Chase is not doing good.
Yeah.
But seeing Larson like doing so well on that same team is kind of like, okay, the team is really good. Mm-hmm. I think we're just now seeing how good Larson really was the whole time.
How about HMS has all 3 of their players have wins except Elliott.
All their players,
yeah,
on their team.
If you told me like Bowman, Byron, and Larson will have wins for Elliott, I'm like, yeah, you're fucking crazy.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
it is strange, and it was cool. It was cool to see the 48 back in victory lane.
Yeah,
I was never a Jimmy fan, but it's just cool to see that number.
Yeah,
but it's cool to see the number 5 out there tearing it up.
Yeah,
that's fun to see as well.
I know Elliott will get a win this year, but it's also like, well, when's it coming? And it's like, I didn't expect them 3 to get a win before him. But then when he does, it's like all 4 HMS guys get a win. Like, pretty impressive with where they've been.
All right, to wrap it up, just out of curiosity, since we've been talking about future potential stuff, if you can't pick Hamlin, you can't pick Truex Jr., and you can't pick Logano, because we've decided those are our top 3 guys, right? I mean, points alone says it. That's the easy pick. You can't pick those 3. Who's winning the championship this year?
Oh, man.
It's way out there. This is all hypothetical. Just based on what we've seen, who do you think could do it? Who do you think could pull it off if those 3 guys are off the table?
Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like with the way Blaney's ran, he could definitely pull it off. I'd like to see, what Brad could do, but also Harvick. I don't know. I'm never going to doubt Harvick. He's not even he's nowhere near my favorite driver, but I have a hard time believing
I agree with you
that he's going to have a bad season. Because, I mean, if a bad season's consistently running top 15 or whatever he's been doing, that's a bad season.
He's currently number 8 in the points.
Yeah. So if that's a bad season, I think it's hard to doubt him. And, I can see him coming alive this summer. And you also got to think, even if they have an off year, they've got to be focusing on next year. You know what I mean? So
I think that's really what they're doing.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are doing that with the next gen next year. I think a lot of teams have kind of like, okay, this isn't our year. Let's prepare for next season. So we're kind of ahead of the game there. Dakota, what would you say your number 4 guy is with a chance to win a championship outside our top 3?
Oh, number 4. Honestly, well, like last year, everybody had Blaney. And where was Blaney in the first round of playoffs? Total choke artist.
It's true.
Screwed it up. Man, honestly, with what I'm seeing with consistency-wise, if I said that right, consistency, I'm going to say Willie B, dude. Willie B is laying down. He is laying down the top 10s.
He's laying down the top 10s
this year. Yeah,
it would be about time for that young kid to prove everybody, like, hey, I'm legit.
He's been Mr. Consistency this year behind Hamlin and them. I mean, but like he's been right there in the top 10 week in, week out at every other track.
All right. Well, I have to go with Nathan here. I'm surprised nobody else picked him. I'm going to go Kyle Larson. I think that dude has the equipment to match his talent finally. And I think even if we're counting the top 3, I think he could still win the championship. I think he's that good. We'll see. I think maybe something happened in this race.
I can see him make a final 8 run. I can make a final 8 run and then some shitty runs.
I think he'll be in the final 4. I think he's going to be in the final 4. I think he's going to drive the wheels off his car, and he will at least make the final 4. And I think you do not want to be in a final 4 race against Kyle Larson because that dude is talented. You know what I mean?
Well, we're going to Phoenix, so we all saw how that went.
Yeah. So, Moonhead, how do we find you? What are you up to? Like, where do we find you? You know, all that.
Probably just Twitter. I post everything there. So it's Moonhead on Twitter because somebody has Moonhead and they won't give it to me.
That's
so
yeah. Have you messaged the person and been like, "Can I have that?"
No, because you can't really like offer people stuff it's against terms of service. So like,
oh shit, really?
Yeah. So I'm not that worried about it. It's Moonhead works out all right. This guy's had Twitter long before I had it, so it's kind of like one of those things. I think I tweeted at him one time, like, "Hey, can I have that?" And then he never replied, and I was like, "All right." He's had Twitter.
Fair enough.
He's had it longer than me, like, and his name's obviously been Moonhead on here longer than I've been Moonhead. So he has it. He's not doing a whole lot with it, but he has it. It's his. So it's Moonhead on Twitter.
That's like the Barstool story. You ever heard that? If you ever go on, I think it's Twitter or Instagram or something, at Barstool, it's just some random guy. Or you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's the website domain, www.barstool.com.
Yeah.
And they've been trying to get it forever, and it's just a picture of a barstool. And that's the whole website. Which is fucking hilarious. I hope that guy never fell. Okay, great. So you Twitch, you're on Twitch live streaming stuff, right? That's where everyone. Yeah. So for anybody watching, if you're into that, go check out Moonhead. He's the best person for it, and he has a pet pig. So top that.
Yeah,
you can't.
Yeah, I guess that's my claim to fame. I have a pig, and I yell at fake race cars.
Oh, that's definitely your claim to fame.
Dude, I gotta get iRacing. I want to get in on that.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on, and
thank y'all.
We'll catch you later.
All righty, appreciate it.
Hey, Mr. Real.